Welcome to Cine here, where you come for all your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy, Nicky Tay Tay.
And today, we are... Wait. Before we get into that, I do want to point out that our background is a little bit down. We need to get it together. We're going to get it better for y'all.
Can we fix it?
Yes, we can. But let's get back into it. Today, we are reviewing Rampage.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Come on! Directed by Brad Payton, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Okay, let's just get into it. You know, this is Brad Payton and Dwayne Johnson's third movie together, am I right?
Yep.
Journey to the Mysterious Island, something or other. San Andreas, where it's just cities falling apart, and now we have
Cities Falling Apart.
Cities Falling Apart 2. Starring our great friend, the albino silverback gorilla George.
I don't think we really expected a lot from this movie. Because what video game adaptation was really good?
Oh, Tomb Raider. The Angelina Jolie one.
And both of them were okay in my book. But either way, there's really not a lot that we can expect from video game movies. And what can I say? This was just another strike in the video game to movie attempt.
Yeah, exactly. I guess Dwayne Johnson said he brought us Doom, and now he's gonna go on a rampage. So The Rock is a part of this anti-poaching unit where he befriended a baby gorilla who, as I said before, is albino. The gorilla grows up, The Rock has a new ape friend, and eventually the ape, along with the two other animals, turn into monsters and they go on a rampage. Oh boy, how exciting. I mean, really, people, this movie is utterly ridiculous. I can't stress how just crazy this movie is. I mean, The Rock is literally surviving everything. There were times where I was very confused. I thought this was the Fast and Furious spinoff because the movie was just so over the top. The CGI, to be frank, was poor.
Where's Jason Statham?
Where is anybody? I mean, where's Vin Diesel? You know, I thought this is like Fast and Furious with zoo animals. It's just like, why? It's just so many of those moments in this movie. It's like, why? And I understand the premise. You know, it's a video game in which monsters destroy buildings. Great. That doesn't mean I want to see the movie. And unfortunately, this is my job. You know, we review movies for you guys.
That's what we do.
And so I had to see the movie. And I still regret it. It's just, go ahead, tell them.
Let me say this. I don't harbor so many bad feelings to this movie as much as Nick might do. I can definitely say that I thought the CGI was fine for the most part. I think the dog was kind of iffy. I don't think he ever was.
Look, he couldn't even tell it was a wolf.
I don't think he ever was as good as the other two, the alligator and also the ape. But this is exactly what you thought you was going to get from a movie. You thought you was going to get Dwayne Johnson being Dwayne Johnson or The Rock and monsters attacking the city. And that's what you got. The story was terrible. The acting was subpar at best.
Don't get me started on that.
You know, the movie really wasn't... I wasn't really going into this movie expecting it to be more than what it was.
I think the bright spot for me when seeing this movie is the fact that I laughed all the way through this film, and I think Ray can attest to this. It was scenes in this movie that were so hysterical. Take it for granted, and I don't think this is truly spoiling the film. The Rock is in a helicopter, the helicopter crashes, he comes out, he has a few blood patches on his shirt. That to me is just funny, right? Again, it's The Rock doing The Rock, right? And also now there are CGI monsters that I'm supposed to now be emotionally connected to. It's funny. It's funny. I mean, this is like Pacific Rim, but without the metal suits. It's more CGI characters that they don't emotionally flesh out, other than a few lame jokes, in my opinion. And I don't need it.
I disagree a little bit there because I thought the monkey, the ape, I thought scenes in the movie you did slightly care about him. I can't say that. They did build it up enough to where you slightly did care about the monkey.
I rescued George when he was 2 years old. George never would have survived on his own.
He definitely trusts you.
The other two characters, no, we don't care about them at all. But the monkey, we did care about a little bit. Things that happened to him or didn't happen to him, we actually were a little bit invested.
And for me, I just wanted to get to the end, and I didn't care who was left standing by the time we got there. Again, just like the gorilla, the wolf, and the alligator didn't care about the city of Chicago, I can't care for the monsters in this film. I mean, really, there are just numerous scenes of people dying, and the film just glosses over it. You know, there are, I would say, hundreds of thousands of people in this movie who should have been dead, and the film just kind of laughs in its face. Which is, you know, it makes it for a fun ride, but I won't pick up this movie.
But I can definitely say this. 3 things in life are guaranteed. Death, taxes, and Dwayne Johnson being a perfect The Rock action hero. Dwayne Johnson, in my opinion, personal opinion, always deliver in most of his action movies, if not all of his action movies. Are all of those movies great? Absolutely not. But does he bring you exactly what you paid him to do? Yes. He brings you the bravado, he brings you the jokes, he brings you the witty satire. Dwayne Johnson, to me, always does exactly what you want him to do.
And for me, that might not be enough. I think The Rock gets away with so much just being who he is. You know, it's The Rock. Who doesn't get excited to see The Rock? I grew up, you know, The Rock, you smell what The Rock is cooking? But for me, this film is just another example that The Rock may be rock bottom. I mean, seriously, can we expect him to deliver good blockbuster films in the vein of like a Will Smith? You know, I mean, give us some depth. Stop delivering us this one-man show where you're the last action hero. I mean, that went out with the 90s. You know, the Expendables 3 realized that they couldn't keep churning those kind of stories out because people want to see movies grounded in at least some realism. And Rampage is the complete opposite, unfortunately.
With all that being said, the action of this movie was definitely the highlight of the movie. And that is the reason why I would say, if you are bored and you have a little extra money, you can go to the theater and watch this movie.
Yeah, go Rampage on your wallet. Waste your hard-earned money to see a film that you won't remember within a week. In the end, Rampage did exactly what I expected it to do. It delivered a lot of action with low emotional value. And for me, too many good films are coming out this year that will deliver both very exceptionally, like the Avengers Infinity War. For me, I'm going to have to give Rampage a 3.8. This is a movie I will never watch again. And if you are watching this review, I suggest that you bypass this as well.
Me and Nikki Tate have set a standard for the movies that we watch. On our grading scale from the 1 to the 10 and anything in between, a watchable movie sits at right in the middle at a 5. Anything less than that is unwatchable. Do not watch it. Anything above that is maybe worth checking out. Maybe because it's still bad, but still worth checking out. 5 or higher. So with that being said, after all of the trash that I've seen on the screen, there was a little bit of candy on the screen with Dwayne Johnson and the acting and the action from him and everybody else that was involved.
You say something sweet, huh?
Something sweet.
Something sweet.
So I would leave this movie off with a 5. It's not quite good enough to go out and just jump to the theaters and see, but it is good enough to go watch on a board Sunday morning because there's no football or nothing else to entertain you.
I'd rather watch the news. That completes the review of Rampage, and thank you goodness it is over. My gosh, the movie is absolutely, I can't stress it enough for my opinion. It is terrible. It is truly terrible. But as always, we thank you for watching this review. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our viewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here. Crash and burn. I got to review with you.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I got to review with you.
You don't want to be monkeying it up.
Yeah, I was going to do it.
No,
it's much.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We are not doing that.
The studio.
One more in a minute.
Studio.
Come on. Talking about keep saying.
Oh, is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you got that? Okay.
And today, we are reviewing. Wait. Before we get into that, what? Keep going. Oh, thank you for being like, you sure?
I'm in the road.
Like, bro, Rashad, you doing this again? Like, one of them, bro, I'm sorry. Well, you got you have some good acting. I believe you. You stupid.
I was doing this during the movie. It's hilarious.
You want to close it out? This movie don't deserve more of our time.
It's so bad. And don't forget, you've seen it here.